Let's talk about Detroit Pistons. They are on the cusp of making history in the National Basketball Association. Man, I don't be knowing where they be getting this from. They be like, first player to average 25, 5 and 5 for 5 straight games. And you be thinking like, I think they be lying about some of these statistics. Oh, this never happened before. He took 5 dribbles and and was 3 for 3 from 3-point land with 5 or less dribbles. You the first to do it in history. I be looking like, I don't be believing that shit, dog. He was the first to Euro step and scored 10 points off the Euro step. I really don't be believing that. He's the first player to get 6 triple doubles while wearing Jordans and Adidas during the stretch. You be like, huh? They be just throwing some pizzazz on there, but the Pistons can make history. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description. The link tree, you can follow me everywhere. And they said basically for the most part, with 2 more wins, which K won't be playing versus Cleveland by the time you see this video. That probably game already happened. If I might post it Friday, who knows? You know, he got a calf contusion or whatever. It's like these players like driving a fucking hoopty. But with 2 more wins, the Pistons will be the first team in NBA history to triple their win total from the previous season. So from 14 wins to 42 wins, if they can get 2 more wins, then they got 9 games left. Obviously, Cleveland tonight. I think Oklahoma City Thunder next Wednesday. In Oklahoma City Thunder, they got a little West Coast swing in there too, or something like that. And then, you know, they got 2 of this Milwaukee down the stretch. So it's gonna get interesting with seeding. So I mean, it just let you know it wasn't a major overhaul. And people are like, oh, they got 14 games, they would need to blow it up. But if you watch the games, a lot of them games, they could have won those games. It was just to the point where injuries, lack of coaching in there, that was an issue. They made some bad coaching decisions. Just didn't seem to have a passion. And then Troy Weaver had half the puzzle right. He was able to draft the right players, but he wasn't ready. He didn't put the right pieces around those young players. The guys that he would get, like Alec Burke and Bojanovic, they were more scorers than shooters. You know what I'm saying? You needed guys that was going to catch and shoot and defend. That's the first thing Trajan Langdon did. He understands some type of basketball. He said, you know what we're going to do? Get Tim Hardaway Jr., catch and shoot. We get Tobias Harris, catch and shoot. You know? That's what they did. Malik Beasley, catch and shoot. That's the number one thing they did. And then everything else they did was just, you know, in drafting Ron, everything else they did was just structure. It was just inside. There was a structure inside. It was, you know, gonna lay some ground rules. You know, and then it was like, all right, we're gonna move Stu back to the 4. You know, we have an idea what we want to do with Ron Highland, so that's what it was. It was competence. It was basketball competence. It was basketball competence. That's all you really can call it. It was basketball competence. He came in and made competent moves. So, I mean, that's huge. You think with this type of turnaround, they would have added a superstar or they would have done an overhaul? No. If you watched the team last year, they wasn't far off. But if you look at the statistics, you'll be like, well, wow, they were, you know, this is a horrible team. They weren't far off. That's why you can't always look at stats. Numbers don't tell the whole story. It doesn't give you the context. It doesn't give you the context. And that's real. It doesn't really honestly give you the context of the whole story. You can like read the ending of the story and they can say, well, Jack and Jill went up the hill, but you didn't get the context. You don't know why. You don't know the tribulations they went to. You have to read the entire story. You got to go through the damn near the entire thing to understand. That's why people get caught up in these conversations about statistics. Yes, he could have scored more points, had more assists, scored more touchdowns, had more, but it doesn't make him a better player. You know, impact to the game, contributions to the game. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch the game to really give people the credit they deserve. You got to watch the game to get the guys credit that they deserve. And when you watch it, you understand, yeah, this guy might have threw for more yards and more touchdowns. He did this, that, and but this guy was better. When in critical moments or within his air, he was a better player. Stats, numbers, yeah, numbers don't lie. You can have a guy like Matthew Stafford who had Hall of Fame numbers before he got the Super Bowl. But we know, even if y'all want to put him in the Hall of Fame, we know a lot of those numbers came in garbage time. We watched it live in Detroit. When the game was on the line, Stafford couldn't do nothing but throw picks and incompletions. But when the game got so far out of reach, he started putting up numbers like we playing NBA jams. And that's no sneak diss or knock at him, but that's the facts. People just look at numbers. Oh, he's all of no. Look at the impact. How many meaningful games did you win? Career games, all the stuff you did. Like, it's crazy to me. And people just sit back and give an opinion on the team they haven't watched. Anybody know the Pistons wasn't bad as they were last year. Really, a lot of the doom and gloom that came over the Pistons was strictly off the back of Monty Williams. When he got here, I appreciate him keeping it real. Like, I ain't want to do this shit. I just came for the money. He was good flat out, and it reflected. It reflected. He didn't care. He wasn't there. I think his wife passed away years ago, got married again. She got sick. He just wasn't in it. Didn't want to be here. Now, if it was a job where he coaching Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and Chris Paul, he probably would have took it. That's the thing. If you constantly got it other than your children, or if you raise your students, whatever, don't beg nobody to do something. And when they do it, they don't want to do it, and they don't do it the right way. It's going to cost you more money or cost you more hassle at the end. If you got to continue to beg somebody to do something, man, just leave. That's the power of your presence, is just to leave. Y'all be wanting to argue with people, and y'all be wanting to go back and forth with women and people. I'm not going back and forth with nobody. Either I'm going to walk away or you're going to get punched. Real talk. Or something worse. That part, the second half of it happened if you just fucking with me. I would just recommend you just keep it moving. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I'm just most of the time, majority of the time, I'm just walking away. Majority of the time, I'm just walking away. That's the best thing you can do. It's not engaged. But shout out to the Pistons. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description, link tree, find me everywhere. Appreciate the love, support. Check out the Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Peace.